Hi, my name is Jose Chamu, better known by my stage name Chips, and I'm a rapper from Long Beach, California. Today, for my first ever reaction, we're going to react to Iron Maiden's first album. I think it's called Iron Maiden. Few like background details. I'm primarily a hip hop artist that only listens to hip hop basically. So, I don't really know I don't really know the genre of Iron Maiden, whether it's rock or metal or death, like punk. I don't really know none of that. Like I said, all I really know is hip hop. I listen to Lana Del Rey every now and then, but I basically only listen to hip hop. And the reason I wanted to react to Iron Maiden was because I do know them from one song. My uncle, a long time ago, he showed me a song called The Trooper, and it's really good. I use it to work out and stuff, and I really like the song. And so one day I just said, you know what? I'm really interested in listening to the rest of Iron Maiden. And I said, well, let's make it interesting. Let's start a reaction series, because I think it'd be kind of cool, since I'm a rapper and I don't really listen to this kind of music. Maybe you guys would enjoy it. It's my first ever video, so I apologize if things are like really bad. Like I don't have a camera or nothing, and I'm doing this all like a MacBook Air, so everything might be pretty bad, so I apologize beforehand for that. But with that being said, let's get to the reaction. Still don't know if I'm gonna be pausing in the middle of songs or after. I personally like to, when I listen to music on my own, I don't like to pause in the middle of songs because I feel like it ruins the flow. But I'll just do whatever feels natural. Like if it feels like it's a good time to pause, I'll pause and talk about it. But for the most part, I think I'm just gonna be talking in between songs. And even then, I don't really like doing that because it kind of kills the flow of the album, right? Like, let's say you have 3-4 seconds of silence from one song to the next. Like, yeah, that gives you a good time to talk, but maybe the artist intended for it to be a slow moment, like a reprieve, like a breathing space. So I feel like it's disrespectful to the music, but still, because it's a reaction, I might end up doing that either way. But with that being said, let's get right into the reaction. Alright, we're starting off with song number 1 called Prowler, 2015 remaster. So I guess I'm listening to the remaster. I'm listening on a Tidal, by the way, because it's free for me. So yeah, let's get right into it. I have the lyrics up on Genius. Let's see. It was kind of tight, like the beat's tight. Hey, this is tight. Beats are tight. The mixing's a little off. I can't really hear the singing, like the lyrics. This is tight. The beat's tight. Got little moments of breathing. There's a guitar on the left here. The mixing's cool. This is tight. This is a good intro. Down. ride around now. I'm trying to go thug. And then back to the original music. Sorry. My bad, I haven't. That was good. That was tight. That was a sick intro. So, man, that was that was a good intro. Like, all right, so immediately it kind of reminds me of the Trooper. The first thing that stands out is the instrumentals, which for me anyways is the opposite of hip hop, right? Because like in hip hop, for me, I feel like the first thing you're focusing on is the lyrics. And I'm gonna keep it real, like I kind of didn't even pay attention to the lyrics. One, because I couldn't really hear the lyrics like that. Like I don't know if the mixing was off or maybe like it's intentional, but like I don't know, I was only really able to hear the guitars and the beats and the drums and all that type of stuff. Like, yeah, I was able to pick out the lyrics a little bit, but I don't know, I guess they weren't like at the forefront. Like, they're not the loudest thing, at least I don't think so. Like in hip-hop, at least when I'm mixing my music, usually you want the vocals to be like the main thing that's cutting through, because the biggest focus is your actual rapping type stuff, you know what I mean? So it was cool, the lyrics, but man, that beat was crazy. Like, it had like a good, nice, fast-paced energy. It was good. Like it made me want to like go work out. Like, I don't know, it was just hype. It was cool. Let's go through the lyrics. So the song's called Prowler. Spider-Man reference? No, I'm playing. No, but so let's go through it. Walking through the city, looking oh so pretty. I've just gotta find my way. See the ladies flashing all their legs and lashes. I gotta find my way. So this dude's just like walking, right? Like, I mean, I guess you could say he's prowling, right? Because the name of the song. Well, you see me crawling through the bushes with it open wide. What you seeing, girl? Can you believe that feeling? Can you believe it? Can you believe your eyes? It's the real thing, girl. So this guy's a creep, huh? This guy's a creep, huh? He's just he's obviously, you know, the name of the song is Prowler, so this was in the bushes and with it open wide and saying, the girl, can you see it? I'm assuming he's flashing with a trench coat type shit. I'm assuming that's what it is, right? Like, this guy's just walking around with a long schlong type shit, huh? He's just showing bitches his cock. This guy's a creep. I don't know. I don't know if you should be proud of, like, I don't know if you should be proudly singing this, but I mean, you do you. Is it the same thing, the second verse? So it like repeats. So this guy's just trying to sling cock. That's just what I'm getting from the song. Let's read the about. The first track on Iron Maiden's debut album, Prowler, was originally recorded at Space Studio. The lyrics describe in disturbing fashion a serial exhibitionist stalking women and then flashing his naked body at them. So this is about like a creep, huh? Like, this guy's just... Is it long? Is it a third leg? Like, should he be proud of it? Cause he's telling the chicks, like, he's like you can't believe your eyes, huh? Like, it's the real thing. So like, don't tell me this guy got like a third leg down there. You know, like I think it's called the oblongs. I want to use the third leg today. That's what I don't know why it reminded me of that. It was a pretty good song. It was a good intro. I don't know about the lyrics. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know if I could get jiggy with it, but the actual like instrumental was, man, it was tight. It was hype. So we're already off to a good start. It was fire. Reacting to track number 2, Remember Tomorrow. It's moody. It's very moody.
Unchain the colors before my eyes. Yesterday's sorrows, tomorrow's white lies. Scan the horizon. The clouds take me higher. I shall return from out of the
Nice beat switch. That's cool how it goes back and forth between the moody, like this moody sound kind of sound like midnight, and then like the break, the like instrumental break.
remembrance and tears for joy. Tears for somebody. This lonely boy out in the madness, the all-seeing eye flickers above us to light up the
We're picking up the pace now, huh? This is the solo part, I'm assuming. This is tight. This is tight. It's hard. I wanna fuck shit up. Nice, and then we slow it down after that fast pace. That was tight. That was tight. That felt like a whole journey. That was tight.
unchain the colors before my eyes. Yesterday's sorrows, tomorrow's white lies. Scan the horizon. The clouds take me higher. I shall return
All right, that was Remember Tomorrow. Man. Let me see real quick. That was another banger. Um, First thing off the rip that like I noticed well so far from like their music is that it's very different from hip hop where it's like there's constantly a progression of music, and when I'm speaking about music, I'm speaking about the instrumental slash beats. If you hear me call it beat, I don't mean in a derogatory way. That's just what I call instrumentals, right? Like in hip hop, they're called beats. But with that being said, like the way these beats are like constructed is tight. Like in hip hop, especially the type of hip hop I listen to, is very just one beat, and it doesn't change, it doesn't progress. Like my favorite producer Madlib, he's very much, there's a reason why he's called the loop digger, because he just makes loops, right? Like he just keeps looping and looping. Like, yeah, sometimes he'll have beat switches and stuff, but it's never like this complex, and each have their pros and cons obviously, but like this is, it starts off kind of like somber. It almost, to me, like sounds like dawn or like midnight, like pretty foggy with the dun, 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 dun. And then like I really like the cadence or flow, I don't know what you would call it, but like the cadence of like, and the rhythms of the singing of the verses, where it's like unchain the colors before my, like I'm impressed with the singing, and I'm very caught off guard because I thought it was gonna be I really did think it was gonna be like screaming or like, but the voices are, the lead singer, pardon, I don't know his name, but the lead singer, he has a very like, mellow voice. I really thought it was gonna be like some like satanic like change the colors, like I thought it was gonna sound like that, but it's like totally not that. It's its own thing. It doesn't sound nothing like what I was thinking. What else? Now, in terms of the actual lyrics and like the content of the song, again, like I said, I'm mainly focusing on the instruments and the overall sound. I'm not really focusing on the lyrics as much because, like, for me, it's kind of hard for me to focus on the lyrics when I'm like banging my head to like this, like the solos and the like dun 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 dun. Like, it's just, there's a lot going on in terms of like the instrumentals, so, and I'm primarily, that's my favorite part, like that's what I'm listening to, that's what's prominent, so I'm not really focusing on the verses, like the meaning of them. But let's go through it real quick. Unchain the colors before my eyes, yesterday's sorrows, tomorrow's white lies, scan the horizon, the clouds take me higher, I shall return from out the, it sounds like death. To me it sounds like someone's dead, right? Like unchain, before I to me it sounds like you're seeing the white light, unchain the colors, you're seeing a flash of your life. Obviously, what was yesterday's sorrows is tomorrow's white lies, and then scanning the horizon, the clouds take me higher. That's like, to me, like you're going to heaven type shit. But then I shall return from out the, and the rhyme scheme, the natural rhyme scheme you would think would be like fire. Going by that, it kind of sounds like this guy's going to hell. Or I don't know, I could be wrong as shit. The second verse is kind of sad, where tears from remembrance, tears for joy. So you're obviously reminiscing. That's pretty obvious, right? Tears for somebody, for this lonely boy. So this lonely boy, I'm assuming, is lonely, and they're reminiscing and shedding tears because someone they love is dead. And out in the madness, the all-seeing eye flickers all above us to light in the sky. So maybe this person that's this somebody that this lonely boy cared for, maybe they're looking down on them. Maybe that's what it could mean. Let's see the about. I lost him in 1980 when I was on tour. He was diabetic. They cut off his toe, they lost his leg, and he just sort of gave up. But the lyrics don't relate to you. To be honest, remember tomorrow, because this is what he always used to say. That was his little catchphrase. You never know what is going to happen. Remember, tomorrow it might be a better day. So I just kept it, and that was it. So I guess it's not directly about death, but I guess like you kind of make it about death. I'm assuming, right? Like it's like his coping mechanism. Overall, the song's fire. It was nice progression and all that. I definitely enjoyed it. All right, I I'm back with a hat because I didn't like the way my hair was looking. So how'd I do this? We're starting the next song, reacting to "Running Free." Yeah, let's get into it. Let me see. "Running Free." It sounds like you're running already. Like I'm hearing the drums. And is that bass? I hope that's the bass. I hope that's what it's called. It sounds like, you get me? Like it sounds like someone's running. So it already feels like I'm running. This is tight. This is hard. This is probably my favorite one so far. This is tight. I'm thumping the shit out of my feet right now. This is tight. I like that. Okay. That was Running Free. That was a banger. Another banger. And, you know, again, just like the other ones, it makes me want to work out. Like, it's so high paced and, like, fast energy. And especially this one, since off the jump, it was very, like, like, you know, like, it just had that energy. And, like, it sounded like you're running. Like, it just had that ferocity, like that. Just it was good. This one was good. And I was able to focus on the lyrics on this one. Like, they complemented the song very well. Like, pardon, the actual lyrics, not just the, like, the cadence, you know. Like, obviously this guy, he's thugging, you know. This guy was thugging since a youngin' type shit. Like, he jumped out the porch at 16 with a pickup truck, out of money, out of luck, nowhere to call his own, hit the gas and here he go, cause he's running free. This guy he reminds me of me. I'm playing, but look, this guy's a G. I spent a night in LA jail and listened to the Sirens well, but they ain't got a thing on me. I'm running wild. I'm running like this guy. This guy's a G. Did he actually spend time in jail, or is it just a story? Because I did. Well, not in jail. But yeah, I spent like one night. And then the last verse pulled her at the bottle top, whiskey dancing, disco hop. So he obviously pulled a baddie, and I guess the other guys didn't like that shit. Which I don't know. Fuck them niggas. I don't know. You do you. He's pushing Pete. Nah, but this fool. Let's read the about. Bouncy punky song was Iron Maiden's first single. So it says punky, right? Is this punk? Is Iron Maiden punk, or what? Is this particular song punk, or what's punk, or is it just a vibe? I don't know. Y'all will tell me, or hopefully. Running Free is about me as a kid. My mom ruined my life, but she said to me, "You live in a shit area, but do what you can do and see what happens. As long as you don't hurt nobody, just get on with it." But I did get into trouble with a law a few times on the day. I wish I could change the grief I gave my poor mom. You know, what he's saying is, well, at least what this says, this quote, you know, it's some real shit. Because, like, at least for me, when I was out there, you know, in the trenches and stuff, I didn't really care about, like, me and, like, whatever. Like, what I did was what I chose to do. You know what I mean? Like, that was my decisions. And the only thing that would bother me is, like, my mom's reaction. You know, like, when I got arrested and I had to call her from jail for the first ever time, it was, like, heartbreaking. So, like, what he's saying is true. Like, the only thing he wished he could change was the grief he gave his poor mama. Like, it's true, bro. Like, my mom didn't deserve that. She was and is, like, a good person, you know. She's a well-meaning Christian, and she works and does her shit, you know. Like, as a single mother, she did what she did through in a legal fashion, you know. What I do doesn't reflect on my mom. Like, yeah, at a certain point, like, yeah, obviously she's my mom and all that, but at a certain point, I'm also an individual, and I make my own choices that doesn't necessarily reflect the people who raised me. You know what I mean? So, man, the lyrics are ringing pretty, like, it's kind of hitting me. So that's low-key fire. Yeah, I messed with this one. This is probably my favorite one from the three that I heard so far. But they're all close. Like, they're all really good. They're all energetic, and even the second track, what was it called? The Remember Tomorrow. It was slow, like it was more somber, but it had still the beat switches, the dun, right, like like that whole section was like cool, because it still gave me that energy that the first track and this track give me. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I like this one. This one's down, like this one's fire. This is good. Another thumbs up. This one's fire. Alright, so now we're moving on to track 4, called Phantom of the Opera. I'm vaguely familiar with Phantom of the Opera. That's like that one shit, the white mask fool. Like, I don't really know it like that. Actually, I don't really know shit about it. I just know of it, I guess, if that makes any sense. So let's see what it's about. It's pretty long. It's 7 minutes long, so this is the longest track so far. Hip hop, I don't know how often you get songs like of this length in whatever genre this is, but in hip hop, it's like pretty rare, you know. Especially the more time goes on, the more hip hop focuses on. That's why there's kind of like a movement where people are like, bring back the third verse. And really, even then, with a third verse song, bro, like, you're probably looking at 3 minutes and 30 seconds to at most like 4 minutes, and that's pushing it. So, you know, hip hop is very short, you know. Like, even my songs, right? Like, a lot of my songs cap at like 2 minutes and 40 seconds type shit. it's not really because I designed it that way. It just happens. Like the way I write music, it just happens. But so I'm not really used to listening to long songs. The only place where I really like notice frequently that the songs reach 5 minutes and above on average is like Lana Del Rey. So maybe hip hop is the only place where it's like hip hop and pop are probably the only two places where like you're pushing for like at max a length of 3 minutes. Maybe, I don't know. But let's get right into this one called Phantom of the Opera. Hold on. All right. It's nice that whoever like transcribed the song on Genius, they put the exact times. Pardon. I appreciate that. That's hard. Nice. I don't know how many pitches above that is, but I know they switched the pitch. Or not the pitch, but I guess like, I don't know the word.
I'm gonna listen up for you now, you won't get away from my grave.
This is so good. Look at my face. This is amazing. That song. This is insane, bro. Oh my God. Everyone's getting hype. I love that little like moment of reprieve. Bro, this is getting hype. It reminds me of Spider-Man. Spectacular. I don't know why. Oh my god, how many beat switches? Amazing. Oh, this is perfect. Shit. S tier. My god! We're back to the OG beat, yo! The way it like looped around, like. Damage my mind and my soul, it just goes to the end. I already got the flow.
You hold me, you told me, you talked to me back at your lair.
There's a couple seconds. Is that it? How it was intended. Let's just let it breathe.
Talk to me back at your lair.
Hey yo, what's up with the jump scare? Okay. That was Phantom of the Opera. That was the best song on the album. Don't tell me every song I'm gonna be like, this the best one, this the best one. This is just mind-blowing. Amazing. Fantastic. Fabulous. Gorgeous. Beautiful. What other compliments? Like, this thing is, man. First, let me just say this. I can't really like the lip biting and the head banging, or it's like involuntary. I can't stop. So if you guys get like turned off by it, I don't know what to tell y'all, because this shit makes me bite my lip like this is just amazing. That did not feel like 7 minutes. That felt like a 3-minute song. That energy was amazing. My favorite part was the instrumental break right here at 2:42 to 6:37. That was amazing. The way, and in the middle of that break was amazing. That little like half a second pause between, you know, that little moment of breather. Man, that was amazing. I like the cadence as well of the lyrics. Like, I've been looking for you now, you won't get away from my grasp. Like, you know, you guys know, you know, and I know that you ain't got that long to last. Like, at first I didn't know if I was gonna like the cadence, because like it kind of comes in kind of like suddenly. The first verse, the way he goes in is kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. But then I was starting to catch it, and it was, by the end, you know, I was singing along. I'm running and hiding in my jeans, you're always there. Like, it was just so good. It was so singable, like, you know. This, wow. This is fire. I'm assuming the lyrics has to do with the play, or I don't know if it's a musical or a play. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's just basically adapting the play or whatever. I'm assuming. I wouldn't know. But yeah, man, that solo just it was my favorite part. It was my favorite part in the whole album so far. Like, that's crazy. You guys will let me know who played all that. I know I'm pretty sure I could look up like the credits and all that, but you guys will tell me in the comments that who was that playing the solos. They say 3 different solos. So were they 3 different solos? I only noticed 2. Like when it goes to like the little the part where it like slows down and then it goes to like the so, but okay, I didn't know. I don't even know the nuances of like how many solos there are in one solo. I was just assuming that was just one big long solo, or is it? This person just typed it like that. I don't know. Again, hopefully you guys will tell me. I don't know, but this was a 10 out of 10. This. Let's read the about real quick. Song features an extended instrumental portion, signature guitar harmonies. The song was recorded a long time. Do people not like this song? Like, why does Bruce Dickinson have to say that if they don't like this song, they don't get Iron Maiden? Are there people who don't like this song? Like, this is this is peak Iron Maiden so far to me. Like, this is as good as it's gonna get. And if somehow it gets better, then it is like gold status. This is fire. So that was Phantom of the Opera. All right, we just reacted to Phantom of the Opera. Now we're going into the 5th song, Transylvania. It's kind of funny, like Phantom of the Opera, Transylvania. It's kind of like they kind of belong back and forth. You know what I mean? It just has that vibe. Like, just the words alone just give me those vibes. Says that there's only an instrumental guitar solo, so no lyrics, I'm assuming, right? Because whoever transcribed it pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna give it real. I'm looking at the map. I didn't even know Transylvania was a real place. Like, I know I probably sound retarded as hell, but like, I didn't know Transylvania is a place in Romania. I just thought it was like some like Dracula shit. Like, I only know it from the movie, right? There's a movie called Transylvania, no? But all right, let's react to this. Hold on. All right, Transylvania. Nice. I'm gonna try to like really pick out every little nuance. Yo! It's about to go hardcore, isn't it? I could tell. I love these little pauses. It's fire. The bass is holding it down. Oh, it leads directly into the next song, doesn't it? We'll just go back, replay a little bit of the end of that one, and go straight into the next song. But let's go back to Transylvania. Like just talking about it. This thing was a banger. Like, I mean, there's no lyrics to break down, but and I'm sorry if I don't remember everything that like that's going on with the music, because it's my first time listening to it, so I won't like remember it. But like the progression, these guys are masters of progressions. Like if this is their first album, then they just came out swinging out the gates with their first album, bro. Like, well, I don't know how good someone is in their first album. Like I don't know bands like that, how it works, but this is like, bro, this is your debut. It's like Nas. It's like, to me, this is like Illmatic, bro, and it is like 9 songs, right? Yeah, Illmatic is 10 songs, really 9, because the intro doesn't. The Genesis is not. It's not a real song. It's just a skit. But yeah, like this is amazing. You know what song is really dope for me, anyways? When I don't even have to check at the length and it's just an instrumental, right? Because I'm so used to like lyric heavy. Even my music is very like lyric heavy. I'm so used to like so many lyrics, and like so I kind of like tune out when it comes to like beats, right? The only times is like on Fallen by Jay-Z. Like there's a minute left of just the beat, and that's one of the rare times I stick around for the beat, like the whole thing. But this, like, that is the main calling point, those solos, and like the little pauses. Like these dudes know when to pause the music, like when to give breathing space for like just the guitar or just the drums. And like, man, I mean, I don't know why it's called Transylvania. Like, I don't know if Transylvania feels like this instrumental, but man, this is fire, bro. Like this is some real headbanging shit. There's some real like, I want to work out. Like, all of these songs, you know what? Now I understand why y'all be wanting to mosh and those big old, like why y'all be wanting to mosh and shit. Cause like, I need somewhere to expel all this energy I got, and worse when it's compounded with my ADHD. You know what I mean? But this is like, it's like crack. This thing is just like, it's just an injection of energy without having to use any drugs and shit. Like, this is crazy. This real energetic, real upbeat, real like vicious. These people, these dudes, man, whoever is handling the guitars, they're just going in, and then the drums, they're just holding it down. Like they're just consistency, and it's nice thumping drums, but they're not overtaking everything. The mix is great. I don't have a great engineer ear ear for engineering, because I mix and master my own music, but I'm far from a pro, like, you know. But just hearing, you know, other mixes and primarily instrumental mixes, like, is giving me like an appreciation where it's like, okay, like they obviously pan the guitars to the left, which is what you want to do, you know. You put the drums and the vocals to the front and to the center, and then you pan the guitars to the left, right. The bass can it could go in the middle too as well, because you want it thumping, you know, you want it there in your face. But this is, man, the mixing is great. As I said though, on previous tracks, sometimes the vocals, I wish they were a bit louder, or maybe I can't hear them yet because I don't have a rock ear, or whatever genre this is. Again, if I keep saying the wrong genre and you guys are cringing, I'm sorry. I don't really know anything. I don't know anything about this. But yeah, like, I'm pretty sure the mixing was intentional to make, right, the instrumentals be the biggest part, which is obviously, right, like this whole song is an instrumental. But yeah, like, it's crazy. This is a great album. Great album. Even if the other 4 songs are trash, I'm gonna have to say at minimum there's a 5 out of 10 album, like, off the rip, because like each of them are bangers, you know what I mean? So like the other 4 could be complete booty, and this will still be at least a 5 out of 10, because these first 5 tracks are they're crazy, and they just get better. Like, how are you making an album where every song gets better than the last, bro? Like, well, I shouldn't say that, because Phantom of the Opera is still probably my favorite, but this is probably second place. Nah, probably running free. But yeah, let's continue with the reaction. Oh yeah. Before I forget, so we're gonna react to Strange World right now, but I'm gonna go back to the other song, and I'm gonna play maybe the last couple seconds, because I heard it was going into the next song, and I don't like to see. This is why I don't like pausing in between or stopping in between an album, because you lose some of that magic. Like, bro, I love when albums are consistent, like, you know, when they're properly mixed and properly sequenced, and it feels like one cohesive project, which is what I miss about, I don't know, like, if rock still maintains that. Like, I'm pretty, like, this album has a good flow to it, but like, you know, like modern albums in the hip hop realm, you lose a lot of that. Really the people holding it down is the underground people, like the whole Griselda movement, because they got that consistency, and they don't do it with beats for the most part. I don't think so. They do it with like skits. You know, the skits hold it down together. And whereas here, you know, it was obviously like I don't know what it's called. If it's called the cymbal, or what is it called? The like shh. That's what it sounded like. That's what the instrumental sounded like a crash. Is that the hi-hat? I don't know what they're called. But yeah, like, you know, I love consistency between songs like that. Like, it's just something great. It's like an extra treat, a reward for listening to the album, as opposed to listening to separate songs, you know what I mean? Or like a playlist, which it could also help a playlist. Like, you could somehow find flow between different songs, you know, like be like, oh shit, like they weren't intended because they're different artists, but they flow together, you know? So I appreciate that very much, actually. So I don't want to disrespect what they were intending to do. So let's do that. Let's go back to Transylvania, and we're gonna play the last song, maybe 30 seconds. Let's see. Right here, and then we're gonna let it go into Strange World. It's so seamless. They're smooth with it. Look, and it's still going on. They're still going. All right, they just stopped. Like, that was smooth. Off the rip, this sounds more somber. Like, remember, what was the song called? Remember Tomorrow. It gives me very much that vibe. It sounds sad, somber, reflective, dark, but not sad. Y'all know the vibe. Nice. I kinda got cooked. I thought there was gonna be a beat drop right there. That was nice. Some real triumphant champion music. Inspired. It's hitting my soul. Beautiful vocals.
Living here is not what it seems. Ship away, light in the sky.
Sounds like heaven.
Nobody there to reason why. Here I am, I'm not really there. Smiling faces ever so rare. Let's walk in deepest space. Living here just isn't the place.
That's hitting the soul, bro. The way they loop back into like the original beat, like, oh, this is genius. That bass, bro.
Sparks of light come from the ground. When I cry, there isn't a sound. All my feelings cannot be held. I'm happy in my new strange world. Shades of green grasses twine. Girls drinking plasma wine. A look at love, a dream unfolds. Living here, you'll never grow
The way they slow it down, bring back the slow tempo and the somber feeling. Beautiful, beautiful.
Don't you hear me call? Ooh.
That was Strange World. Strange World. Yeah. A beautiful song. Just, that's the best word I could use to describe this song. Beautiful, just gorgeous. Very somber, but not sad. And very like triumphant. Almost like, so Strange World, based on the first verse, to me, this strange world sounds like heaven. And I feel like the triumph, the somberness, to me, this is what it feels like. And I could be totally wrong as shit. Or maybe it's supposed to be interpreted differently by each person. But the way the beat starts, you know, with that it keeps going back to that somber beat, that like that like little sad part, that little somber part, it's almost like this person is dying and accepting their death, and like that triumphant beat switch is like they're accepting it, you know, they're kind of achieving nirvana is what I would say, or you know what I mean. And like the only place where you could dream, living here is not what it seems. Ship of white light in the sky, nobody there to reason why. Here I am, I'm not really there. Smiling faces ever so rare. Let's walk in deepest space. Living here just isn't the place. I mean, I guess it could be heaven, right? Like deepest space, you know, you could consider heaven, I guess, space, right? White lights in the sky, that's, you know, dreams, you know. Or maybe like, if anything, you know, this person also sounds like the place where he's at sounds hostile. Like, right, there's smiling faces are rare or ever so rare. So it seems like wherever he's at, there's nobody to reason with. There's no smiling faces, and they don't feel like they're there. So maybe this person's saying like, look, I don't feel an existence here. You know, I feel like I'm existing and not living. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And immediately, it made me think of Transylvania verse 2. When he's, stalks of light come from the ground. When I cry, there isn't a sound. I don't really know what that means. All my feelings cannot be held. I'm happy in my new strange world. Okay, so they're happy in this strange world. Shades of green grass, okay. Girls drinking plasma wine. That's blood, right? Like, that sounds like blood, right? Plasma. A look at love, a dream unfolds. Living here, you'll never grow old. To me, that's what made me think of like Transylvania, like vampires, because vampires don't age. They drink blood, which would be the plasma wine. Maybe the stalks of light are like, I imagine like a real gothic church where the vampires live, and like little specks of light, but they're coming from the ground. So maybe this person's version of heaven is hell, because, you know, right, hell usually it's depicted as like fire and it's in the floor, so like the shades of light could be hell. And the girls drinking wine and all that are like vampires in hell. Maybe a lot of these lyrics are like very like, I don't want to say poetic, but like vague, ambiguous. I don't know if those words apply. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I just don't get it. But this was just another gorgeous song. Like, these guys are 6 for 6. Like, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing down, bro. Like, that's the thing. Like, how are they so perfect? That's what I want to know. But again, to me, it kind of sounds like Remember Tomorrow. I don't know if I'm the only person that gets that vibe, but it kind of reminds me of the second song. Like, that, like, slow, kind of somber, then it picks up the pace, and then back kind of like we're going back to the original somber beat, and then again. But I think it was done better. So yeah, that was Strange World. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was beautiful, just gorgeous. It was, I felt it in my soul, the instrumental, like the it just felt soulful. It was just gorgeous, beautiful. I loved it. We're moving on to the next song. Which is track 7, called Sanctuary. It says it's a single, so I'm assuming this was one of the singles. I mean, because it says it. Kind of interesting. I don't know if, like, I haven't read the lyrics or heard the song yet, but just based off the title, I'm feeling like there's like a little theme going on so far, like, right, like Phantom of the Opera. Then it kind of introduced that, like, just off the title alone, it kind of introduced that like spooky element. I don't want to say spooky, but like it kind of introduced that element. And then Transylvania off the title again, right, because like it's kind of, that's where Dracula's from and all that. And then Strange World again, it had like more of that like ethereal type theme, I would say. And then Sanctuary, it's like kind of crazy because like continuing that theme, right, based off the title alone. And maybe Sanctuary is the sanctuary that this person was looking for based on the previous song, right? Because they said that living there is not a good place to live, or something like that, right? In Strange World, like they live in a strange world. Maybe now they found sanctuary. Maybe they're looking for sanctuary. That's probably not the case at all. I just probably sound dumb as hell. But let's get into it. Let's see what this is all about. Sanctuary.
I know how it feels. I know it got me insane if it's all us all. Now I got to look for sanctuary from the Lord.
This was thugging.
I met up with a slinger last night to keep me alive. Spending money on gambling and guns as a fire. I know it got me insane if it's all what I saw. But now I got to look for sanctuary from the Lord. So give me sanctuary from the Lord, and I'll be alright. Just give me sanctuary from the Lord, and I'll be tonight, tonight.
That's tight. The drums are just like a little machine.
I know it got me insane if it's all I saw.
Facts.
But now I got to look for sanctuary from the Lord.
I like that. The effects, the the way it's panned.
Walking out of the wheel, out of the rain, down the canyon, out of the plains. I know you done got me insane if it's all I saw. But now I got to look for sanctuary from the Lord. So give me sanctuary from the Lord, and I'll be alright. So give me sanctuary from the Lord, and I'll be tonight, tonight.
Okay, that was Sanctuary, man. Another banger. I don't know if I liked it as much as the other tracks. It kind of reminds me of Running Free. I'm running free. I'm running free. No, but it kind of gave me that vibe, kind of that like punk feel, right? Like I enjoy the lyrics because it's kind of like some gangster shit. It's like shit that like we rap about on a regular, you know. Like the other ones, they're cool because they're poetic and they're like, you know, ethereal and shit. But like it's the good old, these niggas is thugging. That's what said. I never killed a woman before, but I know how it feels. So he broke some bitch's heart. I think, maybe. But I really like the chorus. Like, I know you've gone insane if you saw what I saw. So now I've got to look for sanctuary from the law. This nigga's a G. Like, that's all I could say. This is some like real gangster shit. I met up with a stranger last night to keep me alive. He spends all his money on gambling and guns to survive. So like, this fool, the stranger he met up was a G too. That nigga's these fools is outlaws and these niggas is thugging. That was tight. I could laugh at the wind. I can howl at the rain. Down in the canyon or out in the plains. That was just tight. That was just like nice. Reminded me of hip hop again. Like when Jay-Z be like, I sell fire in hell. I sell water to a well. I am a hustler, baby. Some shit like that. Like, that's what it reminds me of and shit. Like, you know, I could sell a brick to a construction worker. No, I'm playing, but you know what I mean? Like, man, this is, in terms of lyrics, this is my favorite one because, well, this I'm running free, I would say. Well, it's because, like, it's the most relatable so far, is what I mean. And it's not relatable, like, relatable, but also, like, that's what I know. That's what my music is about, you know what I mean? Not all of it, but, you know? Probably my least favorite one in terms of the sound. It was good. There was no issue. It's just nothing too crazy. It was kind of short, which is cool. Definitely not bad. Just not as good as like Strange World and Phantom of the Opera. Cause like, and it makes sense again. Like, I really like the album sequencing. Cause like, you start off with Prowler, which is like a. No, I'll just save this for the end, cause I still have 2 more songs to go, and I don't wanna speak ahead of myself. But I'm gonna just say Sanctuary's placing in the album is nice. Like, it gives you a nice breather from the other tracks. Into track 8, Charlotte the Harlot. Press play. I like the chorus. It was cool. It was alright. I didn't like it as much as the other tracks. I wasn't really feeling it until the interlude part where it like slowed down massively, and then it kind of turned to like like that shit went from like I mean the whole thing is still like a song about a hoe, but like when it got to like the slower tempo part, it sounded like a traditional love song, you know, whereas the other part sounded like almost like their punk lane. Like they kind of got like, so far, like this album really has like, to me, like three major sounds. That like punk lane from like Prowler, Running Free, Charlotte the Harlot, like those all have the, and even Sanctuary, they all have that like, that they all have like the same feeling to me. And then you got the stuff like Remember Tomorrow and Strange World, where it's like more like, you know, slower and somber and like more like moody. And then you got like the hype shit like Transylvania and like Phantom of the Opera. So far, like that's the three big things I'm getting from the entire album and shit. But this song was cool. Like I said, I like the interlude best, but everything else, it was alright. The solo was cool too, but I don't know. It was cool though. I'm just not gonna like play it as much as the others, but it wasn't bad. So yeah. So this is track 9, the last song on the album. I'm about to react to Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden off the album Iron Maiden. So let's see what it's all about. Let's see. Alright. And it's pretty short too. It's only 3 minutes long, so This almost, to me, it almost sounds exactly like The Trooper.
Would you come into my room? I wanna show you all my wares. I just want to see your blood. I just want to stand and stare. See the blood begin to flow as it falls up on the floor. I made a candy fall. I made a candy soul.
Drums are picking up more speed.
Would you come into my room? I wanna show you all my wares. I just want to see your blood. I just want to stand and stare. See the blood begin to flow as it falls up on the floor. I made a candy fall. I made a candy soul. Oh well, wherever you are. I'm gonna get you, no matter how far. See the blood flow, watching it shit above my head. I'm watching the dare.
Again, I'm a fan of how they loop back to the original like notes.
Come into my room. I wanna show you all my wares. I just want to see your blood. I just want to stand and stare. See the blood begin to flow as it falls up on the floor. I made a candy fall. I made a candy soul.
That was a really good outro. That was like the perfect outro for this album. That was tight. Based off the verse and the chorus, like these niggas is on some dark shit. Like, obviously, I mean, I don't really know, but it just sounds like these niggas is talking about torture and shit. Like, you know, like come into my room, I want to show you all my wares. I want to see your blood just to stand and stare. See the blood begin to fall upon the floor. Can't be fought, can't be sought. These niggas is thugging and shit. And the chorus is tight. Like, they're basically showing off. They're basically like, you know, they're basically saying, I am him. These was is like, we gonna get you no matter how far. But obviously, they're probably talking about also the torture device, right? Which is why they say the watching it shed above my head, the Iron Maiden wants you for dead. And then it just repeats, huh? So like, from what I'm getting so far, like this genre is fine with repeating verses, right? Because I think it was in Iron Maiden and was it Phantom of the Opera? I think there was like 2 or maybe even 3 songs where it's like where the verses were just repeats, kind of like when all right, so like in hip hop we don't repeat verses, like rarely at all. Like, yeah, you guys like the rare occasion, like Africarian by Logic, but people didn't really like that song. They said it was repetitive because like in hip hop you don't repeat your verses, whereas here, like if I'm gonna repeat a verse more than once, you may as well just call it like a bridge or like a hook or chorus or what, or refrain, whatever word you want to use. Like, so I mean, to me it's not really like a verse. To me it's just like a little hook, you know what I mean? But it's still tight. Like, I think particularly in this song, Iron Maiden, I think the standout like instrument was the drums. The drums were kicking. They had like a nice tempo and shit. This song was good. Let's read about name after the band, classic metal anthem, the last song before an encore. Yeah, I mean it makes sense because that's like their namesake. So like, and you know, if you gonna name your shit after like, you know, like your namesake of not just the album title, but you like your band, it better be hard. You know, it better be part of an anthem. You know, and I would say they succeeded because this shit was tight. Now, quick recap on the album and shit. So, off the jump, because it was 9 songs, right? Off the jump, I'm gonna say, I don't know if it is, but I'm gonna say this shit's a classic. I don't know what genre this is, but for whatever genre this is, I'm gonna just say it's Illmatic. It just feels like Illmatic. You know what I mean? Like, it has the 4 C's. That's what I like about this album. It has the 4 C's. It's concise, creative, consistent, and there's another one. There's another C I'm fucking forgetting. Let me see. I be having all this I be having the C's written down because that's kind of like what I try to go for with my music. Oh yeah, and it was creative. Like, yeah, so consistency, like for that C, it was consistent all around the board. Like, and you kind of have to be consistent when you're only doing 9 songs. Like, bro, if you're making a 9-song album, yo shit, you can't have a miss. Cause if you have a miss, bro, like on a 20 track song, on a 20 track album and shit, bro, if you have a miss, that's like half of a point deducted at that. You know what I mean? And less if it's a shorter song. Whereas when you have like a 10 songs, like that's all killer, no filler type shit, you know? And even the songs I wasn't really feeling, like specifically Charlotte the Harlot, it wasn't bad. It was still fire. It just wasn't as good. It just wasn't as high as the previous highs. Like, I think post Phantom of the Opera's like sick ass solo, like I don't think nothing reached that high again. Or I mean, even Strange World kind of did too. Like Strange World, when it was like that triumphant like B switch part, even then it was like a really big high for me still. Whereas Charlotte and all them, like it felt like closing tracks. And that's what I was gonna say. Moving on to I guess you could consider it a part of consistency or concise, but it was concise, and like the sequencing was good. That's what I enjoyed about the album. The sequencing was fire because it starts off, with Prowler, where it's like I don't know, I think it's like 3 minutes long, and it's kind of like that more upbeat punk shit that I was talking about, and then it goes right into like a more somber track. So it's like, okay, you start off with a banger, and then you kind of slow down the speed, and then they kind of bring it back up and stuff, and they just keep doing that. And like midway through the album, you go through Phantom of the Opera, Transylvania, and Strange World. That's like 3 pretty, not long, but like the pretty long songs, especially like Phantom of the Opera and Strange World. You're also going through like a whole journey. I guess Transylvania too, because it also had like a lot of elements. And so it was nice of them to, all right, like they hit us with basically 3 musical journeys in a row. So now you have to slow down the like tempo of the album. You have to even it out. You can't just, and it would have felt weird if it was like Prowler, Remember Tomorrow, then Charlotte the Harlot, and then another slower song, and then like one of the more punk songs. It just would have been weird that way. And then it's nice to end it off with Iron Maiden, because like it kind of like brought about a lot of the themes of like, it felt like the album cover. That's the best way I could say that last song. The last song felt like the album cover. Like when I look at the album cover, I'm like, yeah, if it had a sound, it would sound like this. So even the album art, they succeeded with it. It looks tight. Like it looks like some vintage shit. And I guess now I understand when I see that shit like on people's shirts and stuff. So I get it now, and it makes sense. It was cool, a little on some Halloween shit. That's what it made me think of. Creativity wise, the other C, obviously it was creative as hell. Like, I mean, the first song is about a fucking an exposer. What do you call those fools? It was about like some PC food. I think it was. He brought a new definition of trench coat wars. You know what I mean? I think it was on one. And then obviously, like I was kind of alluding to, I guess that would belong in creativity. The lyricism and or the whatever you want to call it, the penmanship, whatever word you want to use, right? Like when I was saying that a lot of the lyrics are like ambiguous, or I guess you would say that's like creative. Like I'm pretty sure the songwriters have their own like interpretations and what they meant, and I'm probably wrong at shit, but it's still cool to be like, damn, that's creative, to where like I don't really know what they're talking about, and like I rap quite consistently, so it's like. And I listen to like Lupe Fiasco type shit, so I should be able to like understand most lyrics. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to be a Lupe stan. Gotta go to Harvard to be a Lupe stan. And then, what was the other C? I forgot and shit. Let me check. Oh, cohesive. I guess that's what it was. Yeah, cohesive. Yeah, it was cohesive. Like I said, the album sequencing made it cohesive. It was cool because like another big thing, and I kind of got into it when I was talking about like the end of the is it Phantom of the Opera, which is the one that has the symbol at the end of it, or is it Transylvania? I'm pretty sure it is Transylvania, and at least it's Strange World, I think. Like that's points for cohesiveness, like they didn't need a skit to tie the songs together. They used their tools, they use their instruments to bridge the songs naturally, which it only happened once. I think every other song just kind of like ended, but even then, they had definite beginning and ends, right? Like most of the songs ended with like boom 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 push, like a typical like slow down the guitars slowly to remove the instruments, and then finish off with like the drum boom 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 type shit. So it was cool to hear like, okay, when are they gonna like extend the beat? Are they gonna end it abruptly? It was cool to hear those elements. Like a rating is 10 out of 10. It's fire. Maybe 9 out of 10, because I have nothing to weigh it against. That's the thing. I don't know what to grade it, because I don't, in terms of like my enjoyment, it's a 10 out of 10, but compared to other albums in this genre, I can't tell you. Like I don't know if this is a 0 out of 10 compared to some other shit, or I don't know if this is basic bitch music, you know what I mean? cause this ain't my genre and shit. This ain't my lane. But from what I heard, I like this shit. It's cool. Yeah, like I'm excited for the next album, which is another thing I was gonna say. I I did Google a little bit, like I did Google like what people consider like their best albums and shit, and I'm looking at my phone. Like I'm very excited for fuck, I think it's called Power Slave. Yeah, cause it looks Egyptian and shit. It just sounds tight. Like that's just my type of shit. Like I'm brown, you know what I mean? Like it just appealed to me. And then Number of the Beast sounds tight, just cause that shit sounds satanic as fuck. Like just the title alone and shit. So I'm hyped for that one. Killer sounds tight too, cause that sounds like they gonna be thugging again. Off the title alone, I feel like Killers is gonna be more of that punk sound type shit that these fools do. Cause like I said, I really distinctively noticed 3 different sounds that I pointed out earlier. Of those 3, my favorite is probably like that hardcore shit when they're just doing like instrumental breaks and like beat switches. That's probably my favorite of the entire moments of the album, which like Transylvania, midway through Phantom of the Opera, Strange Worlds breakdowns, the so that's my favorite shit. And then my second favorite of them would probably be the slower moments, the more somber moments. And then my least favorite is the punk shit. But that doesn't mean like I hate that shit. It's cool. Like I like Running Free. Running Free is probably like, so let me see, probably top 3 favorite tracks. Or I guess like since it's not a lot, I guess I could like rate them in order. Let me see the track list real quick. Hold on. Alright, so my least favorite was, so this is from worst to best. Number 9, Charlotte the Harlot. Number 8, Sanctuary. Number 7, Prowler. Number 6, Iron Maiden. 5, Remember Tomorrow. 4, Strange World. Number 3, Running Free. Number 2, Transylvania. And my favorite one was Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, Phantom of the Opera was the highlight to me. It was the best one. Hopefully their music goes more in that direction. Like, you know, like longer epics. That's what I would call it, right? Like an epic. And yeah, I'm excited to listen to the rest. So y'all already know, if you fuck with the video, you guys gotta like, comment, subscribe, share. All that shit helps. Or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. It's your life. But yeah, leave in the comments like what's your guys' favorite songs and all that type of shit. And then tell me all the information that I also asked, like who's the drummers and who's the guitarist and all that, like, and how many solos were in each song. Because like I said, I don't really know none of that shit. But so far, yeah, it was cool. I'm excited for the next one. Stay safe, y'all.